verbalizing how to ask is a difficult thing, right? Especially when you're a baby, you just cry for everything. Your parents will figure it out. Maybe at that point you don't care too much. Or maybe you care, but you have no other way of expressing yourself. You cry, they give you something you didn't want. Keep on crying, right? Hopefully they'll figure it out eventually. But later, you have more specific desires, needs, right? You want that toy. No, not that toy, that toy. As a baby, as a few months old, you can't even point to that toy. You can't play with toys anyways. But the thing is, when you're an older kid and you start learning how to talk, your parents have to teach you how to ask for stuff, right? And the goal is to teach them manners. You don't want your kids just saying, that, I want that, I want that, right? So we say to you, okay, Johnny, if you ask politely, say, please, can you give me that? And then say, thank you, I will give you that. And we think that's a good thing. I would say that maybe not. I agree that teaching manners is a good thing, or teaching politeness, but just teaching them, if you say it with a please, it's a magic word, you will get it, is not a good thing, because later you have to deal with the fact that they want something, they said please, but you're still not giving them. Didn't you make a promise to them that if they say please, oh, are you saying it doesn't apply anymore because they're better at talking? Like, how does that work? You get better and then the rules what is promised you. So it's like saying that I promise you that when you graduate from high school you're gonna get a car. But somehow, because when you graduate from high school you're older, you can work, I don't give you a car anymore because you progressed. Like, is that a good form of feedback, reinforcement? It just seems horrible, right? You lied to them, you're cheating them. And all the time they're improving, which is supposed to be rewarded. That's why I think we have to think about the actions that we do, the future consequences, right? We teach stuff and we simplify it, we say. That's why we say please, because you could get it. Well, no, I mean, don't. I mean, right now I'll give it to you, but in the future maybe I won't give it to you. I mean, please doesn't ensure you give it. Are you just simplifying it? Or are you basically blatantly lying? We know in the world that if you ask for something nicely, you're more likely to get it. But I don't think anybody's ever going to teach you that if you ask for something nicely, you're absolutely guaranteed to get it. That if you didn't get something, it's your fault. Because it's simply not true, right? Sometimes that person will give it to you. Sometimes it's impossible, right? Like you had a spoiled little brat says, Daddy, I want this. And Daddy gives her everything, say Violet, right? But, he can't give her a Willy Wonka golden ticket because he just doesn't have one. He's spending all his resources getting one, but he doesn't have one, so he can't give it to her. And then one of his workers finds that he gives her, and she's a brat, doesn't say thank you, right? But I think the idea is that just because you want it doesn't mean you get it. And I know that it's tempting to train them to say please and thank you by giving them stuff. But what really are you teaching them? That you should only be polite when you could get stuff? No, you should be polite all the time. You don't want them to be a spoiled brat, right? You want them to be a well-adjusted person in society who's polite and nice and kind to all, right? Because if you think about it further, right? So if you don't get stuff from people, you treat them like trash. That's what many people do, actually. Or at least some people. Hopefully not many. That's also not polite. They may say please and thank you, but they're definitely not polite and well-mannered. Most of us would not want kids like that. So I think the idea is when you're training your kids and your methods, you think ahead to the future. What is it really that you want? I know it's harder to start without saying something like, if you say please, I'll give it to you. It's the magic word. Maybe we should teach them a better way about being polite, well-mannered, asking patiently, making a request, right? Maybe? Please?